Hello everybody, welcome back to Jumballer Media. Today we're going to go into the final men's bracketology bracket before tomorrow when we get to have the real bracket. This is Joe Lenardi's most recently updated one. Top overall seed is still Auburn even after that loss against Tennessee today. Boise State, they just lost to Colorado State. Indiana is the last team in. Going on down, we have everyone on the bubble. It's very close. Oklahoma, Arkansas, the SEC pushed them through. Honestly, surprised Utah State is the last four byes. Think that they've been kind of falling off the end of the year. Vanderbilt, I still have some trust in them. First four out. UNC has one quad one win. One. Same with, no, Texas is like 7-10 in quad one wins. And let's hop on in to our bracket. I did watch a lot of basketball today, so let's get into it. So excited. Make sure you guys subscribe down below because we have obviously amazing content coming. So starting off with the number one overall seed, Auburn versus either Jackson State or St. Francis. Congratulations to Jackson State and St. Francis on their wins. I am going to go with Auburn though. They are just a very good team. Marquette versus Baylor. I think Baylor is definitely coming along to be a lot better towards the end of the year. They're peaking in the right direction. Marquette, they just had a heartbreaker of a loss to St. John's a couple days ago on a buzzer beater. I am going to go ahead and go with Marquette in this one. Going on down to Clemson and Colorado State. I think if Colorado State was playing any other 5 seed, I would be picking them. I just think Clemson is such a solid team. I do think Colorado State is really hot right now, and I think they could actually be a really fun team to pick. And Clemson, let's see how they are faring. They just lost to Louisville by 3. Honestly, it's March. Anything can happen. I think Colorado State is hot right now, so let's go with it. Why not? Arizona versus High Point. Haven't watched High Point enough this year, and I think Arizona is getting kind of hot at the right time. Illinois versus Drake. I would love to see Drake go on a little run. Illinois is also getting hot at the right time. They can score the basketball. Drake might be able to slow them down though. I am gonna go Illinois in this one though. I think that they have enough to get it done. Kentucky versus Troy. I did watch Troy play a little bit and they were good, but I am going to go Kentucky. Going on down to Missouri versus West Virginia. I think West Virginia has really good defense. Missouri is known for their offense, and neither of them are kind of good at what the other one's good at. If I had to pick one, I would go with Missouri just because they can score the ball. They've been really off the past like 6 games, but I think they can get that one done. And going on down to Michigan versus Wofford. I do really like Wofford. I think they're a really good 15 seed, but I am going to go Michigan State in this one. Moving back up to Auburn versus Marquette. I'm going Auburn. I just really like the team I'm seeing with them right now, and I think that they are a team to look out for. Going down to Arizona versus Colorado State, I do think Caleb Love is going to thrive in March, and I'm going Arizona. Illinois versus Kentucky. I think this could be a good one, and I could see Drake beating Illinois in the first round, and I don't think I could see Troy beating Kentucky, but I think Illinois does get hot at the right time, and I do think that they beat Kentucky. So we have a 6 seed in the Sweet 16. And then Missouri versus Michigan State. I'm going Michigan State. I just think Michigan State is a really solid overall team. Auburn versus Arizona. I do think Arizona will be a challenge for Auburn, and I am contemplating picking the upset. Arizona just played Tech really close. Let's see. Arizona men's basketball schedule. They did just lose to Houston by 8, but they did beat Tech by 6 yesterday. I do think I am going to put my trust in Auburn to make it to the Elite 8, though. Illinois and Michigan State. I think the little Cinderella run for Illinois ends here, and we are going to go Michigan State in this one. Moving on down, we have Florida versus Norfolk State. I have heard Norfolk State is a really good 16 seed. Some of the guys I watch that talk about March Madness really are high on them, but I really like Florida. I watched them today against Alabama, steamrolled Alabama by 20. I really like Florida, and I was really down on them, if I'm being honest. Not down, but just wasn't bought in until today. And I really, really like Florida. Creighton versus New Mexico. I'm going to go Creighton in this one. I think the Big East play is going to be good to have under their belt. BYU versus either Xavier or Indiana. I am going to go Indiana in this win. Indiana did beat Purdue recently, and I think that they might just be a little bit of a better team. But I will have BYU moving on in that one. Michigan versus Akron. I think Michigan could lose very early on. I am thinking of maybe picking the upset in this one. Let's check out Akron. I don't really follow them much either, if I'm being honest. It seems as though they can score the ball in really high numbers, and they are winning their tournament. So congratulations to them. Michigan does struggle sometimes offensively and defensively. I I don't know enough about Akron to like fully pick them, but well, you know what? Again, it's March. We're gonna have Michigan getting upset in the first round, and Akron is going to beat Michigan. We're gonna have a 13 over a 4. UCLA versus UCSD. Another upset in this one. I'm going UCSD. I just think UCLA is just so, they play so slow. And so does UCSD, but I just think we got San Diego's going to be the better UC in this game. Then we have Texas Tech versus Utah Valley. I'm actually watching them right now. I'm watching either Utah Valley or Grand Canyon will make it into this spot. They're playing their final tournament game right now, but I am gonna go Tech. I think Tech is a very good team. Gonzaga versus Oklahoma. I am a Zags fan. I think Oklahoma's freshman guard, I forget his name. He's insane, but I do think the seniority of Gonzaga is going to be too much, and Gonzaga is going to get that win. I hate seeing this matchup with St. John's because it's going to be Gonzaga versus St. John's, and I really want to pick my Zags. I could see them going on a run. I really could, but I think St. John's is like the worst 2 seed for them to get lined up with. Like going back up to Florida versus Creighton, I'm going Florida in this one. BYU and Akron, I'm also going to go BYU. I'm going on down to UCSD versus Texas Tech. I've only watched San Diego a little bit this year, and they played really slow and kind of were unenjoyable for me to watch. I didn't watch them a ton though, so I definitely would watch them more in the tournament. But I am gonna go Tech in this one. I think they're the solid pick. And then Gonzaga versus St. John's. St. John's is just so gritty and so good. I think Gonzaga could go on a run with the right matchups, but St. John's to me is a classic safe pick in this one. Florida versus BYU. I think that'll be a good game, but I just trust Florida more. I'm going to have them making it to the Elite Eight. And then we have Texas Tech versus St. John's, and I'm going to go the Johnnies in this one. I think that they, again, are just a superb defensive team, and I am going to have Florida beating St. John's, making it to the Final Four. And moving back up here, Auburn versus Michigan State. I do think that Michigan State ends Auburn's run, and we're going to have 2 seed Michigan State versus Florida in the Final Four. Would be such a good game. Then we have number 1 Duke versus either American or St. Mary's or Mount St. Mary's. Congratulations to them on making it. I'm going to have American winning that game, but I'm going to have Duke beating American. Then we have UConn versus Mississippi State. I honestly could see an upset in this one, and I am going to go State. I do enjoy watching Michigan State, and I just think that they do have some pieces that could really shine in March. So I'm going to go with the 2-time national championship, 2-time, guys, I'm so sorry. It's like literally 1 in the morning when I'm filming this, and I'm so tired. But I'm going to go with Mississippi State beating the 2-time national championship team, UConn. Oregon versus Liberty. I've heard Oregon is on a little bit of a hot streak. I haven't watched them in a minute. I liked them at the beginning of the year. They fell off, and apparently now they're getting a little warm again. I haven't watched Liberty either, so I am going to go with Oregon in this one. Maryland versus Yale. I do like Maryland. Again, I haven't watched them as much as I would have liked, but I know that they are a solid team with some really good athleticism. They do have freshmen, which I think is very important to keep in mind in March because seniority wins, in my opinion. Um, then we have Ole Miss versus VCU. I liked Ole Miss at the beginning of the year. I think they fell off a little bit. VCU, I think a lot of people are high on. I think they're good. Haven't watched them a ton. I know a ton of people say that they're super athletic, like could be playing in like a Power 5 conference sort of thing. Um, Ole Miss has really good defense. They do struggle to score the ball sometimes. VCU scores a bit more. I don't know how their defense is in comparison to Ole Miss, but I want to pick the upset in this, so I'm going to go with VCU in this one. Iowa State versus UNC Wilmington. I'm going Iowa State. Kansas versus Utah State. I think Kansas got really lucky with this matchup. I think Utah State has hit a plateau and Kansas will get that win. And then Bama versus Bryant. I'm going to go Bama. Duke versus Mississippi State. I have Duke moving on. Oregon versus Maryland. I do think that both of these teams are good and they have played each other this year because they're both in the Big Ten. So let's see Oregon men's basketball versus Maryland. Let's see how that game went. Gotta see. This game is the women's team. Oregon did win in the beginning of January. That was 2 months ago. And they haven't played since. But a part of me, I have to see how Oregon's been playing. They lost to Michigan State by 10, beat Indiana. I know that they are ranked. I'm thinking. Let me know down below what you guys would pick. A part of me wants to pick Oregon just because they are older than Maryland, but I think Maryland's athleticism. I'm like, does athleticism get you to the Sweet 16 or does seniority? And I'm gonna go with Maryland in this because I think athleticism can get you to the Sweet 16, but seniority and good defense is gonna get you to the Elite Eight and Final Four. So I am going to go with Maryland in that one. VCU versus Iowa State. I am going Iowa State in this one. And then Kansas versus Bama. I could see an upset here. I just think it's a great narrative for Kansas to like have everyone be down on them all year and then beat Bama and make it to the Sweet 16. Like it could happen, but I know Alabama just came off a terrible loss of 20 points to Florida. I think they're going to be hungry and I think that they're going to put Kansas in their place. Going to Duke versus Maryland. I could see a little upset happening here. I really could, but I just think Duke has so many moving parts. I am going to go Duke. Um, Iowa State versus Alabama. I think Iowa State is more well versed in terms of consistent scoring, so I am going to go with them over Duke. Or over Alabama. I just think that because Alabama is just notoriously known for shooting threes and that's it, not that's it, but primarily that if their shots aren't hitting, like they weren't fully hitting tonight against Florida, like they lose. Um, and then Duke versus Iowa State, I could see Duke getting upset at some point. Um, I could see Iowa State being the team that does that to them. I keep thinking about Cooper Flag though, and I know he injured his foot a little bit. Um, I really could see Iowa State going on a little run, and this is the time of year that, they are 3 seed. They're not a 1 seed, but I think people kind of got down on Iowa State a couple weeks ago and then kind of have stopped paying attention to them. Um, what do you guys think about Iowa State? I kind of want to pick them to be Duke, and I know that is kind of crazy, but I just think they can score the ball at a high rate, but they also like literally lost to like UCF. I don't know. I think they lost to UCF. I mean, in the big games, like they lost to BYU, which is a good team. I mean, they blew out Cincinnati and then lost to BYU again. Like they don't win, it seems, in super close games against super good teams, which I think is important to know. And so I am gonna go with Duke. I was thinking about it, but I'm going with Duke. Um, Houston versus Southern Indiana University, Edwardsville. Congratulations to them. I did watch that game, and I think they're a really good 16 seed, but I am obviously going to go Houston. I am a big Houston. I'm on the Houston bandwagon, if you will. Memphis versus Georgia. I've been watching Memphis, just like their scoring, and they like barely beat people in their American conference. PJ Haggerty is amazing. But I am gonna go Georgia. I do just think the SEC play is gonna be a good leg up for them. Purdue versus McNeese. I'm going to go with the upset here with McNeese. I just think Purdue is known to be upset in the tournament. I don't think they're that strong this year, and I think McNeese is a good team. So all things kind of worked out well for Purdue, or for McNeese in this one. Texas A&M and Lipscomb. I am going to go A&M in this game. Louisville versus either Vanderbilt or SDSU. I am going to go Vanderbilt. I know they did lose the first game of the SEC tournament, but for them, I do think that I am going to bet on Louisville in this game. I've been watching them. They're really good to watch. Chucky Hepburn's amazing. Wisconsin, I have them beating Robert Morris. Congrats to Robert Morris, though. St. Mary's versus Arkansas. I think they're very different teams. Arkansas wants to play super fast. St. Mary's wants to slow it down. I do think St. Mary's is going to get control of this game, though, and go and slow it down. Then we have Tennessee and Montana. We're going Tennessee. Tennessee just beat Auburn today. Very good win. Houston versus Georgia. I do have Houston moving on in this one. McNeese and Texas A&M. I could see this going either way, but I do think that A&M has Wade Taylor, and I am going to have A&M moving on past McNeese. Louisville, Wisconsin. This would be a really good game. I do like Louisville. I also am not a huge person of that's not a fan of Wisconsin, but I just don't think that they're like Final Four or anything like that. But I just have a feeling Wisconsin is going to get that win. And St. Mary's in Tennessee, I could see an upset happening here. I really, really could. Part of me wants to pick it, but I think right now Tennessee is playing really well, so I am going to go with Tennessee. Houston versus A&M, I'm going to go Houston. And then Wisconsin or Tennessee, I think thinking Wisconsin plays slower. No, they play faster than Tennessee. But I'm gonna go Tennessee. I think Tennessee's gonna get it. No, I don't. I'm going with Wisconsin. I think they'll get it done. And then Houston versus Wisconsin. I have Houston moving on. We have 1 seeds, and a 2 seed. For Duke versus Houston, I think the seniority of Houston is going to be too much for Duke, and I am going Houston. Michigan State and Florida. I have Florida. I really like Florida right now. And my national championship pick is going to be the Florida Gators. I think they are underrepresented, underseeded, if you will. I just think people are paying attention to the Auburns, the Dukes, and people are kind of leaving Florida out of the picture. So let me know down below what you guys think. And guys, I'm so excited for March Madness to start. We get an official racket in our hands in less than 24 hours. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Make sure you like this video and subscribe down below to Jump Baller Media. And I'll see you in the next one.